I am.
Oh, all right, cool.
Yeah, I am. I'm actually gonna pull up. Well, how many do you have? Because Jeremiah has a few. So if you have like one or two, we can pull yours up first.
No, I mean I had a couple because it was from both quizzes, but it might overlap. So
So which quizzes are you talking about?
3 and 4.
And Jeremiah, which quizzes were you from?
I think mine was from the fourth one, if I'm not mistaken.
All right, so yeah, I want to just go through both of them.
Sure.
During Cyber Thursday.
Yeah, sound good.
Yeah, let's do it. Glory, that sound good with you?
Yeah, I'm cool.
I'm down. Let's see. Let me pull it up. All right. What's up, everybody on YouTube? We're going to go over. I'm going to use one of our cool little tools we get from CompTIA, these practice questions. To, hey, what's up, Elmer? Funny. We're going to use this cool little tool from CompTIA, some practice questions. It comes bundled in our course. It's dope because when you're taking the quizzes, they rate you, right? They rank what your weaknesses are. They rank what your strengths are. And up this area. Yeah, they rank your weaknesses and strength and tell you what to focus on. So we're gonna get a glimpse of it today. We're gonna do 3.
So I got tripped up on that one, but I figured it out from the like I understand that one
So
from.
take us through it. What's up? Take us through it.
So a hacker has established a command and control network to control a compromised host. What is the ability of the hacker to use this remote connection method as needed, known as? What I chose on the test was weaponization. What it actually is persistence. Um, what tripped me up, I guess, was part second guessing, but also I thought that the the ability of the hacker to um, control a compromised host, that kind of made me think of weaponization, but um, you know the ability to reconnect was the difference, because with weaponization you don't reconnect, um, or you persistence is the reconnecting. Like persistence and reconnection is what I needed to get on that one.
Hey, that was well said. That was well said. Did that make sense, Jeremiah? Glory?
It made sense.
Yeah.
Y'all sure?
Yeah, I did. It did. He said it so well.
Yeah, because I had messed up on that one too.
Cool. All right. And JJ, just stop me at the ones that you had issues with. We can go past the ones you didn't, so we can just make
Okay.
sure we get everybody's question.
Not that one.
Okay.
But that one was by searching through, that was recon.
Why?
Because I'm I'm not taking data, which is data exfiltration, I believe. Scoping, I'm not sure what that was. But recon, I say it's recon because I didn't do anything. I just looked at a job requirement. I mean, I just looked at a job listing. So that's public information.
Right. Exactly. We haven't gone over scoping. We looked at active scan, and we know that's actively interacting with the machine. Data exfiltration, we haven't gone over it yet. You're just sending out data from inside of a company to the outside, right? But perfect. Well said. Reconnaissance. And so you all, when you're taking these, make sure you're going through these, bro. Like, make sure you're not just. I can tell you're not, but just FYI, we don't go through the questions just to get them right. We go through them for understanding.
All right, this one I got wrong.
Okay.
And could you just help me? Because I had the steps all out of order.
I'm gonna give everybody a chance to read
Yeah.
it, and then we're gonna do it.
I think what I chose. Well, you want me to wait to say what I chose?
Yeah, just wait a second.
All right.
And y'all already know the drill. Send me your answers. Hey, Elmer, you can send me your answer on live. I don't know if the chat is, it says unable to connect the chat. But if you type something, maybe I'll see it. But so go ahead, and everybody on the YouTube live, don't be shy to answer now. We want to get them wrong now so we can get it right later. That's our motto.
Mm-hmm.
So JJ, hold on, I
So-
think somebody just sent a message. Let me check. Okay. All right, JJ, what you got?
So I believe what I chose was
Don't say the answer though. Don't say the answer.
okay. I believe what I chose was C,
Okay.
and that was wrong because, well, yeah, that was wrong.
Okay. So we want to arrange the following steps in the correct order for establishing a security policy. All right, this security policy is going to be for what? Like, who's supposed to follow it?
People in the organization.
Exactly. It's supposed to be for the organization. So before we can even start drafting it up, we need to make sure that the higher ups, the managers, the directors, they're supporting this policy. So the first step is obtaining support.
And that's what I didn't do right. I figured that before we do anything, we would need to analyze the risks, right? Because like I might not, well, I guess the more I learn, the less this statement is true, but I might not have any risk. I might not have a need for a whole company wide program if it's just this one section or if I have very minimal risk. And that's why I chose C to start.
Okay. Okay. So, and we haven't gone over risk assessment yet. We haven't gone over risk assessment yet. So, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Whoops. It took my screen away. We haven't gone, I'm trying to get the screen back up. We haven't gone over risk assessment yet, so it's okay that you answered it like that. So before we even, if we were doing a risk assessment.
Your screen not up, bro.
Yeah, no, I'm trying to pull it back up.
Mm-hmm.
If we were doing a risk assessment, the first thing we would want to do in a real risk assessment, outside of this question, the first thing not bad. The first thing we want to do is identify our assets. If it was a real risk assessment, like what are we assessing? We can't just start trying to pick the answer to it. That makes sense?
Yeah.
All right, so that's in a, but when we get into risk assessments, you'll see why. But from here, before you can try to push any policy anywhere, you have to get the approval.
Right.
Right. It has to be approved and everybody has to agree to it. It just needs support from higher ups, honestly. It has to go from the top to the bottom.
Right.
So now we're stuck with A, and
D.
D, right? Okay, so the next step, analyze risk to security. Okay, we're on the same page.
Mm.
After we analyze the risk to security, D says review, test, and update procedures. What are we reviewing? We didn't even
Right.
implement the controls
I
yet.
didn't do anything yet.
Exactly.
Right. Okay.
Exactly. So that makes sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
All right, cool. Was this one of them?
Manufacturing company hires. No, I had got that one. That one was what's following? That was A, black box, because you didn't give me any information. And you just said, hey, come break this system.
Perfect. Perfect, 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 perfect. Does that make sense, y'all? Jeremiah?
It does.
All right. Marquita, we good? All right.
I had got this one too.
Which is that? I can't hear you.
I had to reread the question. The answer is B. Yeah, the answer is B.
And why is it B?
Because vulnerability scanning is a passive approach, and pen testing is more active. But vulnerability scanning being conducted by a white hat that's not really accurate. And pen testing can be carried out by white or black hats. Um, Ethical hacking, well, vulnerability scanning isn't hacking; it's just scanning. And uh, vulnerability scanning is a recon technique, but pen testing is it's not. So I guess it could be D, but I picked B.
Because you picked the most specific. When we're stuck with two good options, we go with the one that is more specific, right? That's more specific to the answer.
Yeah.
Good job. And Jeremiah, I think one of your questions is on here too. But we'll see. How do we do on this one?
Got that one. Open source. C. Using web search tools and social media to obtain information. Open source intelligence is just what's out there already. I'm not messing with. I'm not trying to break into anything. That's another stage of recon. It's like the first stage where I'm just looking around. I see Walmart is where I want to go. Well, where is it? Where is it located? Where, what can a Google search give me? That's open.
Perfect. Was this one of them?
Yeah. So
Following
yes.
select the appropriate method for packet capture.
So I took a guess, but then I saw that it said choose two. So my guess was D, because I don't know, honestly. I just took a shot.
All right, Glory, I want you to take this one.
The answers here are A and D. Why is shark and TCP dumb? Because they're both tools that we use to sniff the traffic or capture packet.
And why didn't you pick packet analyzer?
Packet, okay. Correct me if I'm wrong, but why is shark and TCP dumb are types of packet analyzers?
Yep. Yep. It was more specific, right?
Right.
Here we go. Yeah. Good job, good job, good job, good job, good job, good job. That's exactly why we go ahead.
So what is TCP dump? Oh, a packet sniffer.
Yeah, it's a packet sniffer, a packet capture, a packet analyzer. They're all the same name or same thing. So that was one of the I think that was one of our homework assignments. It was to look at, was it on here? I thought it was on here. I don't know, maybe I'm tripping. I thought I gave y'all a TCP. Oh yeah, it's right here, I'm tripping. Yeah, that was one of the homework assignments to look at TCP dump. And then last Cyber Thursday, I think we used Wireshark. Right, so I'll have that video just so you don't have to go through the entire Wireshark, through the entire Cyber Thursday. But TCP dump is a protocol analyzer. It's a packet sniffer. It's a packet analyzer, right? What it's going to do is capture your network traffic. So if we're both at Starbucks and it's not their network, their Wi-Fi, if it's not encrypted, I could capture all the traffic. Well, I could capture your traffic, right? If we're both at Starbucks, I can capture your traffic and see what you're doing on the internet. I can see who you're talking to. I can see what files you're sending if it wasn't encrypted. And I could see this with the packet capture. All right, it's a passive tool because it's just sitting there. It's just analyzing. And TCP dump, that's one of my favorite. Why? They do the same thing. One is just a command line tool. The other one has a GUI, a graphical interface that you can play around with. So Wireshark looks prettier. That's what the GUI means. It looks prettier. It's easier to use for most people.
So, but Wireshark is it's like a program or application?
This is it right here.
Oh,
Yep, it's an application.
okay.
It's just capturing everything I'm doing right now. So the more things I do, it'll capture it. See?
That's crazy.
Yeah, definitely look at that last Cyber Thursday video, man. We saw some, not the last one, but 2 Cyber Thursdays ago. We looked at some FTP traffic on Wireshark.
Okay. Check that out.
All right, Jeremiah, thanks. Okay. Were we good on this one? Analyze and eliminate the item that is not an example of reconnaissance technique.
Yeah, I was good. That was A.
Okay. Good job. All right. Hey, Jeremiah,
Yeah.
I think this was one of yours too.
Yeah,
That was one of yours.
Yeah,
this
that,
one got
that
me.
was one. I took a guess on the first one, which is this one. And that was another one that came up. And I got that one.
Okay. All right. A system administrator is tasked with scanning the company's network to identify which common ports are open and which software and software versions are running on each. Evaluate and select the syntax that should be used to yield the desired information if the administrator will be executing this task from a Linux command line. Okay, so this is a good learning opportunity. First, if we remember from our command line tools, netstat gives us what? That's for anybody.
What's running on the network.
Right, the active connections. Okay, it gives us our active connections, external connections, all the connections going on. So we know it's not a port scanner, right? It's not scanning for open ports. Can we cross netstat out?
Yeah.
What about nmap? What's nmap?
Tells you
where you've been.
Mhm. Yeah.
It's a port scanner. So it's scanning for open and closed network ports. So if this is your computer, I need a port, AKA a door, open in order for me to connect into your computer. Okay, if I wanted to, and we haven't gone into network protocols yet. If this was me, Toby, and I wanted to do a remote login to your computer, I would need to use the SSH protocol. What port does that use, Glory?
Port 22.
Okay. And I would need that port or that door opened on your computer. If it's open, I could log in if I have access. Or what if you had, what port is FTP, Glory?
Port 20.
And what else?
21.
Okay. If you had these ports open, I could check using nmap. Potentially, I could check. Or theoretically, I could check using nmap because nmap is going to scan your computer for open ports or open doors. Pass it. Hey, oh, here we go. My bad. Joel and Lorenzo, I didn't know y'all were waiting on the lobby. If you try it again, I'm looking at it now. My bad. So nmap, we were talking about nmap, right? So nmap is what? What is it, JJ?
Say it again.
What's nmap?
Nmap is a port scanner.
All right. And it's going to scan for open and closed ports.
Mm-hmm.
Right now it's scanning. What I did was I used nmap and it's still running. But I wanted you to see the. Okay. I said, hey, nmap, I want you to do an aggressive scan against this IP, which is my IP, against this computer. An aggressive scan is going to try to give me, it's one, it's going to try to show me what the open ports are, because that's what Nmap is. It's going to show me open ports. But an aggressive scan is also trying to give me the software and the software versions, including the operating system. It's trying to give me as much information about this computer it can gather from these open ports. Like, it's aggressive. So what do you think? Is that a passive scan or an active scan?
That's active.
Yeah, because I'm actively assessing these ports to see what's this software version, what is it doing, how is it open, is it closed, is there a firewall there, what can I tell what operating system this computer is using. And right now it's showing me that I have port 80 open. Glory, well, the answer is right here. Port 80 uses HTTP, and Nmap sees that the port is open, because it is open. It's right here. This will make sense when we get into network protocols. But that's what Nmap does. Okay, it's a port scanner. And over here, you're trying to identify software and software versions. So that's why we're going to go with the aggressive scan. -O is only going to try to give me the operating system. It's going to try and detect the operating system based off of information it can gather from open ports.
All right, I get that. I just gotta go. I had to go back and play with some Nmap some more, because I really did. I really couldn't recall what the A and the O stood for.
Yeah, that's fine. Well, we can do Nmap next Cyber Thursday. We can do some more of it. Hey, Jeremiah, you still there?
I'm still here.
All right. I know you said you had a few and four. Let's try to get to yours real quick. All right, what we got? Was this one of them?
I'm about to check right now.
I think, wait, do I have it? Oh, yeah, it's in my email, isn't it? All right, hold on, I got it right here. So we did the next, that one. Yeah, but I can't tell which quiz they came from. You cut the quiz off in the screenshot. Yeah, this was one of
That
them.
was one.
All right, so what did you pick over here?
I had picked B.
All right, JJ, what are you going with?
Data in use, A.
And why are you going with that?
I'm going with A because if it's to me, if it's actively being used, then it's the easiest to. You have many more opportunities to kind of hack it because it's actively being used. And if it's yeah, yeah.
Okay, good. I like it. Glory?
Yeah, I agree. Data in use, because when you're using it, it's unencrypted, so attackers can easily get to it.
Sam? Sam's there. Marquita, you out there? What's up, Zoe?
What's going on?
Yes, I'm here.
What you got, Marquita? Okay. Good job, y'all. Yep. It's data in use. You understand why, Jeremiah?
Understand why?
Why are we going with data in use?
Because when you're using it, it's easier for an attacker to find open ports that you're going to hack you, and to find back doors as well to get back in. If so,
So is data in use here because, so first of all, we got to ask ourselves, what is data? What is data? Data can be anything. Data can be your personal information, your username, your password, your social security number, your bank account, your computer files. That's data. Okay, now there are places where that data can be stored. It can be stored in your database. It can be just stored on your hard disk on your computer where you save your Microsoft Word documents. Right? That's data at rest. Data in transit is when you're trying to retrieve that data. Or an email going from point A to point B. That's data in transit. It's moving from different locations. Data in use is data that you're actively using. Okay, so data at rest, we can encrypt that pretty easily. And there's a lot of different encryption mechanisms we know about. We can use to encrypt those. Data in transit, we can encrypt that, right? We know about TLS. We know about how we use asymmetric keys to encrypt our session key. But data in use, that's a little bit more. All right, have a good night, Marquita. Data in use, that's a little bit more difficult to encrypt because you're using it. You need to use it, right? So that's why it presents the greater challenge than opposed to the others, because it's easy to encrypt data that we're not using and send it off somewhere or store it. You know, it's easy, and then decrypt it. But now when we're actively using it, that's the issue, because so many different things need to read that data. That makes sense?
makes sense. I got you.
All right. What else we got? Was this one? Which of the following? It's not that. It's not that. Yeah, this was one. All right. Which of the following? No, this wasn't one. We'll still do it. Which of the following represents a problem with symmetric encryption? Lee. Everybody, still feel free to send me the answer in a private message. For this one? Oh, I don't know. Okay. YD. Well, that's true. All right. So which of the following represents a problem with symmetric encryption? A, symmetric encryption is slow as a result of a lot of computing overhead. We know that symmetric encryption is faster than asymmetric encryption. We know that. All right, because you're only using one key. B, the keys are linked in a specific way, making it impossible to derive one from the other. What keys? Symmetric encryption only uses one, right? C, although the public key is used to encrypt the ciphertext, what public key? We're talking about symmetric encryption, right? So you're right. The other ones just don't make sense. Good job, good job. You still there, Jeremiah? Is this one of them?
I'm still here. Let's see. That is one.
This one that got me too.
Okay.
Honestly, oh.
So where we at? The system administrator downloads and installs open source software from the software developer's website. However, the website was hacked and the software was modified to include a backdoor. As a result, the hackers now have access to the administrator's network. Which of the following measures would have prevented the system from being compromised? Okay, so let's circle some stuff. A system admin downloads and installs open source software from the software developer's website. However, the website was hacked and the software was modified to include a backdoor. As a result, the hackers now have access to the admin's network. Which of the following measures would have prevented the system from being compromised? So let's start from the bottom. D, validate the software using Kerberos. Y'all, we learned about Kerberos today. Does this make any type of sense?
Not really.
What is Kerberos?
Oh, Kerberos is on your network.
Right, and what is it though?
Yeah, it's an authenticator. Or provides authentication.
Right, an authentication service. Right, so it's not validating software. Good job, Lee. It's authenticating. Good job, Lee. C, validate the software using a key signing key. Key signing key is with DNSSEC. We haven't gone into that yet. Okay, that's with DNSSEC. That's a networking protocol. We'll see that. Right, but that's not going to stop. That's with DNS. Right, we know what DNS is, domain names. Right, resolving over the IPs, google.com. Right, so right here, we're trying to prevent a backdoor from happening. Validate the software using a private certificate. Do we use private certificates to validate software?
Not software. Not software.
No, we don't use private certificates to validate software. Right? It's for authentication purposes. It's for integrity purposes. Validate the software using a checksum. What does this mean? Watch this, man. I think I did this in another class. This is the software that they downloaded. Okay, this is the organization down here, okay? You still there, Jeremiah?
I'm still here.
Okay. With our software, if we want to make sure that it hasn't been tampered with, what is something we can do? That's for anybody.
Certificate.
Nope, we're talking about the integrity. We're not talking about authentication. Certificate is for authentication. If we want to make sure that nobody, or if we want to know, if we want to be able to validate if this software has been tampered with, what are we going to implement?
Checksum.
A hash, right? Or also known as a checksum. But we're going to get a hash of this software, right? We're going to get a hash of the software, and what are we going to do with it? We're going to store it. We're going to store it somewhere. Why are we going to store it? Anybody know?
More secure.
For use later.
Yeah, why? What are we going to do with it later?
It's harder, is it? Because it's harder to
We're going to make sure that we're downloading the right software by checking the hash.
Exactly. Exactly. So I'm going to say that again. Good job, Glory. We hash our software or our application so we can verify or validate whether it has been tampered with or not, whether somebody has messed with the code, maybe somebody altered it, maybe somebody put some type of payload, bad payload in it. If they do, the hash changes, right?
Oh, okay.
So we keep this hash, and maybe a month goes by and we take another hash of it, hash number 2. If it doesn't match up, what does that mean?
It's been tampered with.
Right.
compromise.
Right. Somebody did something with it. It doesn't matter what you do. If you just added a dot or a space or a backslash or a plus, the hash changes. And we know why it changes: confusion and diffusion.
So is a checksum just a different word for?
So hold on. This is the checksum.
Oh, okay.
This is the checksum. It's when this is a checksum in its simplest form. It's when, and I'm using this scenario or that question. This guy, when he reached out to go and download the software, because what are we trying to do? We're trying to prevent malicious software from being downloaded, like a backdoor. When he reached out to download the software, he downloaded it, right? He should have also downloaded the hash with it. Because what could he have done? Was look at this hash and look at that hash. That is the checksum. It's matching hashes. Good job, Lee. Yeah, you're just matching hashes. So check this out. When your phone, right? Your phones got to get updated, right? You got a bunch of applications on your phone in the App Store, just a bunch of them. And then your App Store just randomly has like a number of updates that you got to download, right? How do your apps know they need to update that there's an update out there? Because of a checksum. They're reaching out to their servers, right? Instagram has a server, Facebook has a server, Twitter has a server. All the applications on your phone, they're reaching out to the servers and they're checking to see if the hashes match. If the hashes match, that means they don't need an update. That means they have what's on the server. If the hash doesn't match, that means it's a new update. Hey, download me. Then the icon pops up on your screen. There's a new update. There's a new update. And we're going to see that again in class. We're going to see that again. All right, but that's the checksum. That's how it works. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
All right, y'all. We about to call it a Sabbath Thursday. It's getting late. People on the Zoom. Ooh, somebody got a bad echo. Oh gosh. Hold on now. let's mute everybody now. There we go. So everybody on the YouTube, thank you for tuning in live. Everybody in the Zoom, thank you for tuning in live. If you're not in the class, if you haven't signed up and you want to learn the fundamentals and you want to build your resume and position yourself for employment, I highly suggest you sign up for the next class starting January 25th. Everything we're doing now, we break it down even further. Somebody said in one of the labs you guys have, there is a checksum you will do before a file, not software. Thanks, though. Thank you. Yep. And the class comes with this, like these questions right here. It also comes with labs that we all give out as homework. And you, hey, JJ, I'm going to send you all your homework tonight. You guys got a few labs to do. But yeah, YouTube folks, definitely hit up the website, onlinesecurity.com, and sign up for the next class so we can get you right. Nobody has any questions? I'm about to end the Zoom. If you have a question, please speak now or forever hold your peace. I guess we holding peace. All right, y'all. All right, good night, y'all. You're welcome, Glory. Good night. Good night. Yep. Thank you. Thank you, Lee. Have a good night. Good night, Jeremiah. Let me send the homework now.